I wanted to sneak in a video of a 3080, but I had to get creative in a way that it wasn't just I tested out the 3080. So today what we're going to do is take a card that back in 2020 launched for $850. I don't know what the actual price ended up being for it. If it was more expensive, I assume it was less expensive than that. And we're going to be comparing it to a card that launched last year for $600. Really, you saw it for like $650 to $700. So the first card is the 3080. Which is a monster. I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace. It is the Aorus Gigabyte. It does have some slight cosmetic damage here, so if you guys can see, you know, some of this is falling off, some of this is falling off, but it doesn't affect the performance of the card whatsoever. But if you can see, this thing is gigantic. It does have this cool LCD, LED, whatever it is, screen here that turns on, and you know, if it's working properly, you download the software, it can show you things like your temperature, you know, whatever that might be. So this was a pretty high premium card at its launch. And then I have the hero that I've been working with for so long now, just this plain Jane 9070 XT, which honestly has been so fast, so reliable, and just such a solid card. It's the Asus Prime Radeon RX 9070 XT. I did some bartering for it, so I traded a 5070 plus some cash. I got some other stuff. We traded some. We did a crazy deal there. So I think normally that you would end up paying probably like $600, $650 in the beginning. These are now retailing closer to $800. Because things are getting crazy again. But what I wanted to do today was just take these two cards, so a card from, you know, 5, almost 6 years ago at this point, and compare it to a card that came out, I don't know, what was it, 6 months ago, a year ago? I think it was maybe 6 months ago, and see the performance and like how much technology has either advanced or kind of stagnated. So we're going to be testing a couple of games with both of these. I believe Arc Raiders is still super popular, so we are going to benchmark that. So we're also going to do Black Myth Wukong and Spider-Man 2, just because those are pretty graphically demanding games, and I want to see like what the visual difference is, what the FPS is, if either one's running hot, you know, if that VRAM is a limitation. So the 3080, I believe, has 10 gigs of VRAM. If we kind of start to run into that, especially because I assume that was a 4K card when it launched. I don't think it could do 4K at this point. Maybe it could, but we're going to be testing it on 1440p. Now, I do want to let you guys know, if you did watch a couple videos ago, I did a box of $350 worth of stuff that was just random things. So in there, I knew I had something that was good if it worked. A Ryzen 7 5800X, a tough B550 motherboard, and 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. But I also had a mystery Intel processor that also came with an old motherboard and DDR3 RAM. We found out it was a 4590, and that actually worked. That was supposed to be this video, but to kind of give you some information, it doesn't take an NVMe, that motherboard, and all I had on hand was an old hard drive, and it is not fast enough to game. So getting to the story here, I actually went to Walmart to find a SATA SSD, and I couldn't find anything. You know, everything was kind of really high price. I didn't want to pay that much for it. So I've been looking around, and we're going to do that video eventually where we take that 4590 and throw a bunch of different cards in it and see if it can kind of handle, maybe not modern, but like, you know, 2017, 2018, maybe 19 games, and just see how it runs with those other cards, if it makes a difference, if it's just completely bottlenecked. But that kind of information I actually notified you guys of in my newsletter, where I share about the upcoming content. And something that's also really exciting is, while I was in that Walmart, none of the Walmarts around me sell anything besides like sometimes SSDs, NVMEs, but they don't have graphics cards, they don't have processors. They have like full pre-builts, but they don't carry really anything else. There's no power supplies. I don't think they have any types of cases. I was in the case over there looking at the SSDs, and I happened to look down and I just kind of noticed something that caught my eye, and it caught it enough that I wanted to look back down and go, hold on a second. My store doesn't sell this, and I'm going to purposely hide the price here for you. If you guys can tell, this is 32 gigs of DDR5 Kingston Fury RGB RAM. My store doesn't carry this, and it had a pretty competitive price on it. So to tell you guys, This particular brand, like if you were to go look on Newegg, retails for I think $650. You can find it on other sites for like maybe $350 to $500. It really just depends, but I think probably the $350 to $400 is, I think, don't quote me on this, kind of where it's sitting for new. And it was $270. So I went to the associates and I was thinking it over because, you know, I was like, could I purchase that? I have no need for DDR5 right now. But could I purchase that and could I sell it at a fair price? I wasn't going to buy it and then list it at $400. And I'm like, no, I looked on Marketplace and they're selling for like $275, $300. So that was a waste of my time. I'm not going to list it over that. And I'm not trying to be like some scalper that's making tons of money off people. But I did want to ask, you know, I asked the employees like, hey, I've never seen RAM here. Why is that over there? You know, what's the deal with that? And someone came over and said, well, actually it was returned to our store. Someone purchased it online. It got returned here. And yeah, in about 2 weeks, so he's like, what he said was, what's the date on there? Like, when did that get marked down? So it was initially supposed to be like 350, 360. That got marked down to 270. And I said, oh, it says 260. He's like, hold on, I think it's supposed to get marked down more. And he's like, yeah, here's the price that it's supposed to get marked down to. I think you guys might be able to see that. It says $201. And at that price, I knew that I could build something with it or fairly sell it for $75 to $100-ish profit. Again, fairly. I'm not going to go list this for $450. I don't think that's fair. That's not right. But fairly, you know, I found a really good deal. I would be okay with putting it at that price. So I had to snag it. I don't know why I'm turning this way. And as I'm driving home, I didn't get the SSD I wanted, but I was excited about this. I started thinking, I don't think I'm going to sell this. I think I'm going to put this in the build. I'm going to put this in the build for the giveaway for the subscriber newsletter. So if you guys don't know, I have the newsletter where I update you on upcoming content. I share kind of some of the PC things that I see whenever I'm purchasing things, you know, just the processes that I go through. And I do have a paid option on there for people that want to, you know, help the channel continue to grow and potentially win a PC. So every June and December, the paid members have the ability to be entered into a drawing where I give away a PC. And I've still been slowly piecing that together. But now, as of now, we have 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM going into that build. I ordered last night a Ryzen 5 7500F with a B650, I don't remember if it was a B650M. It was a Gigabyte B650, I assume it's the M, an ATX board. It's gonna have a 2080, 1 terabyte NVMe, and I'm probably gonna use just like a black Corsair case. So I was really excited to announce to you guys that if you are interested in the newsletter, you know, in supporting the channel, there is also a chance to win an AM5 PC. I'm really excited for that. So as we continue to grow, I am thankful. I wanted to show support because you guys have been really, really nice and kind for the most part, and supportive of me and my journey. So I wanted to give back in a good way because this PC, even though the 2080 is not amazing, you 100% could swap that out at some point, and the 7500F will easily run a lot of stuff. Or you could swap out the 7500F and you already have, you know, an AM5 motherboard and 32 gigs of RAM, which is like everything at this point. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. I will have that linked in the description. I think only like 5 or 6 people are signed up, and I'm gonna do the drawing in June. It'll probably be like mid-June to end of June. I'm gonna benchmark this PC whenever I have all the parts in, so you guys will fully get to see it. And also I'll probably send an email to everyone that signed up for it, the actual PC, so they can see what they are potentially going to win. But yeah, I'll stop rambling. Let's go ahead and jump into the benchmarking and testing of these. We're gonna start with the 3080 and then jump into the 9070 XT to see, is there really that much of a difference, or could you just buy a 3080, which by the way are in the market for like $350 to $500, and this one, you know, is still going for like $800. So yeah, let's try it out. All right, so we've got the 3080 loaded up over here. As I mentioned, it is massive. If I were to use this card more consistently, I would want a better, you guys can't see it, but I have a GPU support in here, but it's not great. I would probably have something on this end and maybe another middle one too, because it's a monster. I haven't gamed on this at all. I loaded up Spider-Man 2 once to make sure that it actually ran. So I'm gonna be, you know, brand new to this like you guys are as well, probably. So I'm gonna run through the settings real quick. I'm potentially going to go a little higher on it just because I want to. So frame gen is off. Let's see. I don't know if I'm supposed to change this to DLSS because that's what we have on here. I don't think I can use DLSS 4, can I? Maybe. I'll see if it lets me, if it's letting me, because I think that wasn't enabled for the 30 series cards, but perhaps it was. We're on high ray tracing. Everything else is set to epic. I don't think it goes any further, does it? Cinematic. I feel like we can just get away with running this at cinematic. So all the numbers can be seen over here, the FPS. The RAM is irrelevant because that doesn't matter. But we can see the GPU temp, the utilization, how much of the VRAM it's using. So it has 10. So this isn't really pulling nearly as much as I expected. I thought it'd be a lot higher. But this is really nice. I mean, obviously this was an $850 card at launch, but this is really, I mean, you can see the grass swaying back and forth here, tumbleweed there. You know, we're sitting at this is without frame gen, a solid 70 FPS. We're high ray tracing, cinematic, everything. I'm gonna go shoot at some stuff, and I got the Pharaoh. I'll probably die pretty quickly, but this will just give us an idea of like the gameplay. Yeah, but visually, I am pretty impressed right now. And Arc Raiders isn't like the most demanding game to run, but when you do run it at higher settings, like it does look really solid. I'm just running this way because I thought I saw, yeah, some Arc over there. Oh, wow, you can see the running water. Like I'm always impressed whenever I come into games and like try to max them out, because I'm just a guy that like, oh please, wait, no. I'm just a guy that like shoots at things. I'm not very strategic. Like I'm just a run and gun kind of player that doesn't really care about graphics all that much. Oh, I missed. Cool. Yeah, I mean, no latency there. So can't really complain. Still, I mean, we've gone up in FPS now. I guess we'll run in here. Maybe shoot at some other stuff, get myself killed. All right, there we go. Oh wait, that's probably not the one I want to shoot at. I'm gonna die. Oh wait, that one's not that big, is it? I'm probably still gonna die, huh? Man, we're outplaying this thing. Ow. Dang. Sweet. Yeah, oh man, you can see the smoke billowing here. I have not noticed like any type of performance drop. Oh, I'm bad. I haven't noticed anything that's like, oh, this is I mean, like, obviously at $850 only 5 years ago, it should be able to handle everything. But the question is, like, how does it compare to a modern card that's even slightly cheaper, but still should, in theory, outperform this? My guess is that we're going to see some issues when we get to Black Myth Wukong, because this card will handle ray tracing better than an AMD card does. And that is an area that I do have a complaint with, because I do notice the FPS drop a lot when I try to run on that. So, yeah, I feel like this is probably a relatively... What the heck? Oh, I'm dead. Haha. Yeah, I'll just get myself killed here. Yeah, we're dead. I mean, look at this. This looks solid. I'm impressed. I mean, like I said, you can find them for $350 to $500 in the market these days. So... you know, 10 gigs of VRAM, I mean, we're not even hitting 6. I think that will potentially become a problem on Spider-Man and Black Myth Wukong, but here in Arc Raiders, it didn't matter that much. Also, I did want to ask you guys, I saw a 5050 at a really cheap price on Java. is there any interest in that for content at all? I didn't want to buy one and then just sit on and be like, oh, this stinks. Like, would you guys want to see the comparison of like basically a $225 graphics card versus like a $450 graphics card versus, you know, a $800 graphics card? Like, is there any, I just wanted to get some feedback from you guys if that would be worth the time. But let's go ahead and jump over to Spider-Man 2 and then we'll get to Black Myth Wukong. So now we've got Spider-Man 2 loaded up. I'm going to take you through some fighting. Please don't judge me on it. I'm not very good. We're going to run through the settings. I am going to try to potentially go higher just because this is a 3080. It was near a flagship card at the time. So again, this is a 1440p monitor, 165 hertz refresh rate. We have frame gen off, DLSS on. Let's take a look at the advanced stuff. Very high texture, 16 times on the anisotropic, very high shadow quality. I do have ray tracing on high. Everything else is pretty high or ultra, and we're not doing any kind of frame gen. We're sitting at 60, almost 65-ish, 67 FPS. It isn't hot. 68 is pretty reasonable. And this is a game where we're almost at 9 gigs of VRAM. So I imagine when we start doing things, we could potentially run into some problems with that. So again, please don't judge me here. I am really bad at Spider-Man. Get me up there, dude. How do I go up? Whatever. I'll just fight them. Ow. $60 FPS still. How do I heal? How do I go up? That's what I want to remember. I don't remember how to do anything here, guys. Go up, Spider-Man. This is embarrassing how bad I am at this game. All right. Well, I mean, we're close to 80 FPS, so you can see here. Ow. Am I about to die? Which one is heal again? Guys, this is embarrassing how bad I am. I mean, the visual quality is nice. I'm really digging that. Where am I supposed to go? Hello? Do I go through here? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. I mean, you can see the quality of this. Spider-Man looks really good in this. I mean, we're sitting at 60. We really haven't. I think we've gone up slightly some since there, but yeah, this is very, very solid. I think that potentially we could run into some issues with the VRAM, but I haven't yet. And this is with ray tracing on like high. I mean, yeah, you can see like the lighting effects and the shimmering there. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do here? I go this way? Nope, not that way. It would help if I knew the games that I benchmarked, wouldn't it, guys? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Normally I do some web swinging. This? No, that just goes down. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is pretty impressive. I am going to tell you, though, I played just briefly on this on the 9070 XT recently, and I do think you're going to see a difference in that, where maybe that 16 gigs of VRAM is slightly better, and the card is just, I mean, it's just a little bit newer. But this 3080 is still a beast. I'm going to go ahead and go to Black Myth Wukong. That's the one I'm really excited for because I think it's potentially possible that this might outperform it in certain areas. So let's try that out. All right, now we've got the 3080 loaded up with Black Myth Wukong. Oh man, what settings do I have on here? It seems real bad. Let's check the settings. Sometimes I have to, I don't know why, and maybe some of you guys experience this too, but whenever I play with, whenever I use a different card or anything different with Black Myth Wukong, I have to load the game once and then load it again for it to run properly. If it's a CPU, a graphics card, like anything. So let's go ahead and try some of this. I'm gonna change the ray tracing down to low and very high and apply those things. Yeah, that feels a lot smoother. That feels much smoother. Okay, so we can see the FPS here. The RAM is irrelevant. I thought we would be using way more of the VRAM. We're only using 67 degrees. Wow, this card pulls a lot of wattage, so you need a proper power supply. It's possible that my 750 watts is not enough for this. Visually, it looks, I can't really tell. It looks pretty good. It's pretty solid. Let's see here if we can get into the sunlight and kind of look at it better. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now, I've benchmarked this enough times with the 9070 XT. That's better. It's quite a bit better too. And these are some, I think, quite a bit lower FPS numbers. This is with ray tracing at low. And remember, Nvidia is supposed to be better at that. So to the modern world and to most people, a 3080 is not an old card. It should not be outdated. It shouldn't be considered something that like can't, I'm not going to fight that guy. You know, I don't care. It shouldn't be considered something that like can't handle something like this. Okay, so now we're kind of seeing our VRAM go up. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna leave because he'll one-shot me. Yeah, he'll one-shot me. I'm just gonna come down here. I mean, yeah, sitting at 50 FPS, the card isn't hot, but it's like potentially on the verge that it could be at some point. And something I don't ever mention is that like I never use the side case because I'm swapping out parts so often. So like that could factor into the temperature as well. But yeah, visually I am impressed. I think this is extremely good. I don't know where this would rank. Like, this is cheaper than the 9060 XT, essentially, because they're like $450 right now. But I don't know where I would rank. That to me would probably be a more equal comparison because looking at this, I think the 9070 XT is going to stomp this card. And that's not to say that this isn't good. What I think you would want to consider then is like, if you're purchasing a new card, yeah, I mean, I'm not getting like any crazy delay in moving the mouse. Every card does that. You guys might be able to see, I complain every time, but Black Myth always has this fuzzy look around him. I don't know what it is. Even maybe like some blurriness. But I'm just gonna see if I change this to FSR. I want to try that real quick and see if that's just like better or something. No, it looks like it dropped it even more, and DLS was significantly more. I wouldn't say significantly, but it looks worse now. Maybe that's because I'm not in the lighting. But yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the DLSS real quick, because that does look worse. Maybe it didn't look that much worse. I don't know. We're getting a few FPS more now. Yeah, so before we even benchmark the 9070 XT, like I said, I've done it enough times and I'm very familiar with how it looks, and I'm always impressed every time I do it. But this 3080, I feel like it's not a bad card, and I tend to have a positive review of every card because at the right price point, anything is amazing. If you were to purchase this at $450, I don't know if you'd be getting a better deal out of a 9060 XT. Like, that has the 16 gig model, that has 16 gigs. I mean, you can see here, we're not running into that problem. So I think at the performance level that you can play this at, it's not that big of a deal. And I don't think the 9060 XT is going to be pushing higher settings than this either. And the equivalent of this would be like, what, the 5060 or the 5060 Ti 8 gig? And I assume that this thing probably outperforms it. That would be my guess. I could be wrong, but that would be my guess. So I feel like this puts us in a good spot here to understand and kind of see this 30. I mean, I want to go up further on the vision of it and like put this on cinematic and put this on high. But the problem is our frames just plummet. And it looks pretty good, but like now we're down to 30 FPS. So let's go ahead and swap over to the 9070 XT. I think we are gonna see a difference, and you know, at this point there's almost a double price point comparison, so like that is taken into effect. But if cards ever go back to MSRP and you had to pick between a 3080 and a 9070 XT at $600, I think we'll have an answer, but let's go ahead and check it out first. We are back in Arc Raiders. We've got the 9070 XT in the computer now. I will show you guys the settings. Everything is exactly the same as it was before. No frame gen. We are on FSR3 obviously because this is you know, an AMD card. High ray tracing, cinematic. I mean, you can just tell from the FPS for 90 to 100 FPS. But it's challenging for me to compare like the visual fidelity between the two cards because this is raining, and I feel like personally the rain makes it look a little more washed out and less colorful. Yeah, I'm trying to look at like the glass and all of that here in this car. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be visually more impressive, but I also don't think that Arc Raiders is like the, I should probably go somewhere closer to find something or shoot something, or, oh, we can just go up there and shoot that stuff. What are those up there? Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that Arc Raiders is like gonna push the graphics card to a place where you're like, oh man, I cannot believe the difference in the graphic quality. Because I mean, it still looks really good. And with this rain, I might have argued that the 3080 looked better. But again, that could just be a subject of the rain. We're getting way more frames. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me being silly or something. But I feel like, yeah, especially now that we're like getting kind of more sunny. I don't know. It's tough to tell. Maybe that 3080 was higher graphic quality than I thought, but obviously this is getting way more FPS. I think we were at like, what, 70? And we're running a lot cooler. I'm gonna shoot something at some point, right? Wow, this is a haul. Wrong button. What is it? V, Z, X, C? One of these buttons is put your weapon away. H, there it is. Yeah, I really thought that this was going to be more impressive. I did want to go just shoot at something, just so we could have like a little better, like when we're actually in a fight. What do I have? The Stitcher? No latency or lag or anything here. Oh, that one's got fire. Ow. That is really surprising that that is not enough to, like, kill it. Can you let me finish reloading? Wow, I'm gonna die. That's nuts. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel anything there. I didn't... Whatever. Yeah, so... We're not even nearing the VRAM usage. Oh, it is starting to pull a lot more wattage now that we got in the fight, so 310, whatever. I feel good. Let's go to Spider-Man. I think we are going to see a difference in Spider-Man and Black Myth Wukong, though. So we're back at Spider-Man 2. I'm not in the same spot because I couldn't figure out how to get past where I was, and I didn't want to bore you guys with that. So I will show you the settings that we're using. I have not changed them, and we will get some gameplay in. So still 1440p, 165 hertz, no frame gen, no upscale. Everything is at the very high, very high. Ray tracing is set to high, ultra, ultra, very high, very high. The first couple things that you can immediately notice is, one, we are significantly higher in the VRAM usage. I think we were only at like 7 or 8. So if you're allowed to use more VRAM, you will. And we are getting higher FPS at the same settings. This isn't going to be fair because we're in a different spot, and I always think that like outside or in better lighting is going to look better. I will say personally though, I think it's looking better here maybe. Let's go ahead. I always kind of like to go up to the top of a building here and just kind of get a vantage point from up there. Okay, I guess it won't let me. Yeah, there's like a sandstorm thing happening in this area, so it makes it look kind of like blurry-ish. I do know that I was preferring the look. I did try it on the other. This is a different saved version. I did prefer it on like how Spider-Man looked, the quality and all of that, but I don't know. This looks really good. But it's hard to compare because it's not the same Spider-Man, it's not the same spot. But obviously we are getting higher FPS using more VRAM. The GPU is running cooler.
Nice work. New request just came in. Nice work on the app. This will help a lot of people. Thanks.
Okay, well, we have some stuff we can do here. Yeah, I don't know. Again, we're in a weird scenario because I'm not comparing apples to apples here. It's a different spot. It's a different version. Like, it's a different mode. Guys, I'm starting to think that maybe this 9070 XT isn't that much better than the... I'm being humbled here. I thought that the 3080 would not compete, but it's... I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to be an AMD shill here, but here is where I think we can definitively determine how much better this card is, because obviously it should be better. Let's just go ahead with Ultimate. Can I go even higher? Ultra. That's apparently as high as it will let it go. Ultra, very high, very high. That's everything up as high as it'll go. It did drop our FPS some, but, and I know this is a cinematic, but that does look crazy. Ow. I mean, yeah, the graphics on this look insane, but again, it's not like, it's not quite fair. It's not quite fair because we're not in like the same kind of area. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to go to Black Myth Wukong. This does look good, but I am not seeing such an improvement that I'm like, holy cow, I would spend $150 more. So maybe I have to retract my statements. But let's go ahead and go to Black Myth Wukong, because I feel like there we will for sure see the VRAM difference, and we're gonna see higher FPS, and I think the visual quality is gonna be better. That one I've benchmarked enough to know I'm fairly positive that it will make a difference. Back in Black Myth Wukong with the 9070 XT. We'll run through the settings real quick. Man, just seeing the FPS that we're getting there makes me wonder if I was just speaking out of my behind here because, okay, you can't run FS. I think I need to update, even though I did update the AMD, I might need to update the software because this is supposed to be FSR4, or maybe that's only Borderlands 4 that I can think of that has it. Anyway, no frame gen. Ray tracing is very high. Everything is on cinematic. This is how we ended the last video, and we were getting 30 FPS. Oh boy, it is. It's also laggy. We're getting... No way. Have I been wrong twice now about this? So we are getting close to the 10 gigs of VRAM usage. Dude, is the 3080 better than the 9070 XT? Like, we're going to drop this down to medium, go back down to very high, because I think that's what we were running on the other card. Nah, this is not right. Guys, I'm going to restart this. I bet if I restart this, it'll look a lot better. Let me try that real quick. Okay, so I did reload it. We're getting the same. Dude, is the 3080 the same quality? There is. Oh, I've been tricked. I mean, this looks amazing, one, but have I just blown the 9070 XT like out of proportion? Like, dude, is it the 3080? No. To give you guys a frame of reference, I told you that I got a good deal on that 3080. It had some damage. The guy just was looking to get rid of it. I didn't lowball him or anything. He literally had it for like 300, and I just threw a number at him. I was like, would you take 250? He's like, there's some cosmetic damage. I'm just trying to get some money back. Sure. So I paid $250 for that 3080. And I am astonished because this entire time, I love this 9070 XT. It has some annoying things about it. I just can't believe. Wow, and there was some lag there too. I cannot believe. I just can't believe. Ow. I am in disbelief. All right, I'm not going to keep fighting him because I'll probably die. I am literally just in disbelief that... I don't know. It looks really good. Like, here it looks amazing. Wukong looks incredible. That, like, to me, that's so good. And I don't think the 3080 saw that level. But the FPS aren't that much better. And I'm not seeing that much of a VRAM difference. So, like, it's making me wonder, unless I was upping this into 4K, which I don't think the 3080 can. Maybe it can. Oh, I'm just flabbergasted. I can't believe. Maybe you don't need to spend that much. Maybe you guys should just go buy a 3080. I don't know. I'm going to wrap this video up, talk about my thoughts, and then you guys can get out of here. At this point, I don't know anymore because I genuinely expected the 9070 XT here to perform significantly higher, and maybe I just have like a biased opinion. Something's like grabbing me here. Maybe I just have a biased opinion because I've been using it. I thought it performed really well. And dude, the 3080 might be about the same quality. Like, it's 10 gigs, but a VRAM, but I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just impressed with the 3080, and the 9070 XT has blown me away all the time, but that 3080 was nice. So I really don't know what to say about it. I expected it to be significantly further ahead, and the fact that hardware from 2020 that, you know, came out, and it was close to the flagship, is competing with AMD's flagship this last year within 6 months or a year, whatever, that is really impressive. And if you could find them at 350, like I said, I think I've seen them like 350 up to like 600. sometimes 300. If you can get one of those at a good deal, yeah, I'm just stunned. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. As we continue to grow, it's awesome to hear all the comments, the stories, the things, get to know you guys in the community a little more. Be on the lookout. I think the next video is going to be me doing the 4590 with throwing a bunch of different graphics cards in. So I will throw in the 3080, 9070 XT, and a 2080 and test that out. If you want to watch some other content while you're waiting for that, I do give stuff away. So I did a video where I had my brother come to my house. He's a console player. He reviewed a PC as a console player. And then at the end, I asked him how much he thought it cost. Well, the thing was, his birthday was actually like a week before that, and he's been wanting a PC. He guessed. I actually told him the PC was free. You can check that out, or tons of other stuff where I do wacky things like this. Consider, checking out the newsletter. I do have that linked. As I mentioned, I am giving away an AM5 PC with 32 gigs of DDR5. I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and, financially helping me grow there as well. Consider checking out some of the other content. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next video.